What's up everybody, Super Duper X-Fan here for another car review. This is of course the 2006 Audi A3. Many thanks to Harrison Auto Sales for hooking me up with this car to review for you guys today. As far as the looks go in this car, it's nothing to write home about. I mean, it looks nice, but it doesn't look, amazing, but it doesn't look bad either. So it's just okay. I think it looks nice. You have the projector beam headlights here, nice bold grille, and the back end, you have the conservative typical Audi taillights, and yeah, I mean, it's just a good looking car. I really can't find any fault with the way it looks. It's very versatile with being, four doors and a hatchback, and it's roomy, but it's a nice and small car, about the same dimensions as a Volkswagen GTI. So I mean, it's a really nice and compact little car while still offering you some of the Audi luxuries. Right, so for the interior of this car, it's actually a really nice place. I mean, for being an 8-year-old Audi, you'd think, it wouldn't be so great, but it's actually still really nice by modern standards. So you get in this car, I mean, the doors have a very solid thump to them. I really like that. And then you get in here, and these seats were better than I thought they were going to be. I actually worked at an Audi dealership a while ago, and I forgot just how nice these seats are. Very nice bolsters, very supportive, and the seating position is such that you sit pretty low in this car. You can push it all the way down, and it gives you a really aggressive seating position. I really like it, and you're almost sucked down into it. It's really cool. Next is the steering wheel, which is really great. It's a really nice shape. You have kind of some flat sides here a little bit, and little bumps right by the 8 and 4 positions, which is interesting, but it looks really good. You have nice little notches here at the 10 and 2, and it's just perforated leather right here where you always put your hands most of the time, and then towards the top here it's smooth leather. Just a very attractive and nicely designed wheel. You have the paddles. This is a DSG transmission, so it's a dual clutch transmission, and so you have the paddles for that, and they're very nice metallic paddles. They feel really great. They're perfectly placed for easy use, and yeah, just really a nicely designed wheel. The gauges in this car are really nice. Nothing crazy, but they look good, and they're very nice with the way the information is laid out. It gives you your gear indicator, and yeah, pretty basic gauges, but they get the job done. As far as the rest of the interior material qualities go, it's actually quite good. So, I mean, first off, yes, you have some fairly hard plastic everywhere. This was the base bottom Audi in 2006. I mean, so 8 years ago, this, was probably acceptable. These days, it leaves a little bit to be desired. There are some really nice touches, though. For example, these chrome trim rings that are actually functional and allow you to open and close the vents as well. Very, very nice. I mean, all the buttons have a nice resistance to them. Some of the plastics in the buttons feel a little cheap and Volkswagen-y, and the leather in this car is really nice and smooth. And even you have leather covering the handbrake, and you have this very nice and soft padded armrest as well. I mean, everything in this car is very nice and soft. All the touch points, like the plastic obviously around the cup holder and things like that, is rock solid. One thing that isn't very comfortable either is this door panel. So for where you put your left elbow, that is pretty hard. Most modern cars have that nicely padded, but this one doesn't. So don't really want to put your elbow on there. But with the way these seats are, you're kind of sitting low anyway, that you're not really comfortable putting your elbow up on the door anyway. As far as storage space goes in this car, it's pretty good. You have door pockets here, that just hold maps, things like that. Coming along to the center part here, you have right underneath the heating controls a nice large cubby that you can fit lots of stuff in. You have, your little typical ashtray type deal right in front of the shifter here. You have your 2 cup holders, which are on the small side. There's really one full-size cup holder and one like half-size cup holder. So cup holders are not so great. And then you have great storage space here, though. You have another little cubby where your 12-volt power outlet and cigarette lighter is, and then you have another little cubby here where you can put some stuff. It's not too deep, it's maybe 3 inches, but it gets the job done. Backseat space in this car is okay. I'd say compared to modern compact cars, it's a little bit on the small side, but you can fit 2 adults back there that are average size, no problem. They're not going to complain too much. Trunk space in this car is also very good. This is a very versatile car, obviously being a hatchback, and you can fit plenty of suitcases in there, and those rear seats fold down, so I mean, you can have all that space to put as much stuff as you want in there and load up, very large items. If you watch my other reviews, you'll know that I love moonroofs, and this one has 2 of them, so I'm doubly happy. It's really nice. Alright, so let's take it for a drive and see how it does. Alright, so setting off in the Audi A3. So, first impressions. Like I said, I love this driving position. Very commanding view of the road as far as, visibility goes. Very good for a standard, four-door hatchback. I mean, you have very large front windshield. You have the side windows that give you great visibility. Obviously, you can see over your shoulder and see very clearly for lane changes and everything. Very easy car to drive, and it feels nice and small as well, so that's easy, to keep in your lane and things like that. I'm on this bumpy park road though, and I can assess how the ride quality is here at low speeds, and it's not bad. It's pretty good, I mean, again, this isn't a high-end Audi. This is the lowest thing. It's basically like a nicer Volkswagen GTI. So I mean, the suspension is a little more sport tuned than the standard Audi, but it does feel fine. I mean, it's not jarring in any way or anything. Really like the way that it rides. It's just a little firmer than you would expect from an Audi, I think. Alright, so let's turn on to this back road here and see how it does. I'll put it into manual mode. And here we go. Yeah, this thing is quick. Quick for sure. So yeah, on this back road here, this car, it just feels really great. I mean, like I said, the power is nice. It has 200 horsepower and 207 foot-pounds of torque, so plenty of get up and go. And the way the power is delivered, it feels, the torque comes on early and it's very strong. And on these back roads here, with all these corners, it's really nice. Now, I mean, there's a little bit of a delay in the brake pedal, and the throttle response could be better. And the steering is a little on the light and vague side. For some reason, this wheel doesn't give you a ton of feel. It's pretty good though. It just leaves a little bit to be desired. Coming up to this tight corner here that I always take, average speed, and let's see how it does. It's pretty flat. I'm actually really impressed. It handles pretty well. I mean, obviously this is front wheel drive, but I mean, it feels fine at normal, non-insane road speeds. Alright, so let's see about this power again, shall we? Get some wheel spin there. It's a wet day, so it's a little harder to get traction, that's why. I mean, this thing is quick, but normally it wouldn't be just shredding the tires at every single opportunity. It's a kind of a wet day. So, but yeah, I mean, this car has lots of pickup. I really like the way that it drives. The transmission is spectacular. This was one of the first dual clutches out there, and man, Audi got it right from the very beginning. Even an 8-year-old car, this thing shifts super quick. I mean, rev match down shifts, everything is immediate. It's buttery smooth. This one has 123,000 miles on it, and it still feels fantastic. I mean, really good quality of this transmission. I mean, they praised it back in 2006, and it's still a top-notch dual clutch even today. But yeah, I'm going to drive this car for a little while longer here, and I'll come back and give you some updated impressions. Alright, so I've been driving this car for a while now, and it's really grown on me a lot. It's been a long time since I've driven an A3, and these things, one thing is I commented early on in the video about how the ride wasn't quite Audi-esque, in my opinion, that it could have been nicer. But whenever you're out on the open road, this thing does really ride really nice and smoothly. I've been really impressed with just driving it around. It's just, I mean, the engine is so nice and smooth in this car. This dual clutch, like I said, for being an 8-year-old transmission, it still is buttery quick and smooth, and it's just, I love the way this car shifts and drives. I just wish that everything was a little bit quicker to react to my inputs. The throttle response isn't the best. The braking input's a little too sensitive and a little spongy. I wish it had a little more feedback. Steering isn't quite as sharp as I would like. Once again, this car has 123,000 miles on it, so that could be part of the reason as to why things aren't quite as tight as they probably used to be. But it's still, it's still an excellent car, though. I love driving it. I mean, it's more of a laid-back car. It's not really supposed to be a sports car, so it's okay that everything isn't quite as sharp as it is in some of the other cars that I've tested. This is a lot more sedate, so, like the Honda Civic Si that I just reviewed, that was really on edge and super sharp, almost too much sharpness. And so this is a nice, comfortable, relaxed ride while still having the sportiness, having the great power band that is just willing to pull from any RPM. I mean, this thing does 0 to 60, they say, in 7 seconds or less. But this is way quicker than that, the way it feels to me. I mean, it just, pulls way stronger than my BRZ or the Honda Civic Si. I mean, really a great motor. I know it's been around forever, but it still does impress me. I really like it a lot. And I mean, yeah, the Audi just did a really good job with this car. I mean, Audis are always really high quality products, and even this base A3 is no exception. It's still a wonderful car. One other little thing is the audio system in this car. I didn't talk about that yet. It's really good. I mean, you can get a Bose system in these cars, but this one is just a standard stereo, and it's great. I mean, bass is great, vocals are very clear. I'm really impressed. It's just the Audi Concert stereo, but it is a really nice unit. So that's another thing I was pleasantly surprised. I really can't find any fault with this car, honestly. There's not a single thing I can complain about. I mean, it's good on gas. I mean, everything about it is just, it's great. It's a very safe car. I actually had a friend that used to have one of these that totaled it. She walked away, no problem whatsoever. I mean, these are really good cars. And you can even get them in Quattro if you get the V6 version. And I mean, that thing will go anywhere in the snow. This one's front wheel drive, so you get some wheel spin. That's the only thing I can say is a little bit of a downside, is it does like to spin the wheels very easily. I mean, it's a wet day, but even in the dry, I remember from the other A3s that I've driven, these do like to spin the front wheels pretty easily. You get a little bit of torque steer, but it's not too bad. So otherwise, though, this, like I said, this car is just fantastic. And this one in particular, this one's available through Harrison Auto Sales, of course. Many thanks to them once again for hooking me up with this car. This one's available for less than $8,000, which, I mean, yes, it has super high miles, but this thing is still super solid, very sharp, and really like the way that it drives. I mean, so it's a great bargain for $8,000. So yeah, many thanks to Harrison Auto Sales for hooking me up with this car. If you are interested in this car, the link is in the description. You can check it out and give them a call, and they'll be more than happy to help you out. And yeah, it's a really nice car for the money. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Take care.